Welcome to the Brokers Lounge with Eddie and Carlo. Disclaimer: the information contained in this podcast is general in nature and does not take into account your personal circumstances. Please head to the show notes if you want to book a free call to discuss your personal situation.
Hello to another and final episode of the Brokers Lounge for the 2024 year. It's been a great year doing this every week and trying to put as much information and just having a chat, Carlo and myself, every week. So it's a bittersweet.
I was starting to worry because you said the final. I went, okay.
For the year.
Have we been axed already?
No, for the year. Just for
okay,
the
that's
year.
all right then.
Yeah. There's definitely going to be a lot more next year.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, considering we're finishing up next week, so we thought we'd wrap it up this week and just have a chat about the year from a personal, business, lending perspective and what next year is looking like, things we're looking forward to, and some of the plans for next year. And it'll be a casual one, this one, but I think we all enjoy casual ones every now and then.
Yeah,
so,
exactly right. So it's going to be probably a little bit hard to wrap up what's been a pretty full-on year. Like, I've only been with the business now for 8 months or something like that. So
yeah,
but I feel like so much has happened just in those 8 months alone. So
it has been definitely one of challenging, but I think overall it's a good year as well. Like consolidation, probably a lot of people getting back on track, even though it's been really tough. But in terms of economy, in terms of inflation, in terms of how things are shaping to look like next year and the years to come, I've got some hope in me that things will be better. So we'll talk about this, but yeah, it definitely has been a long and quick year at the same time.
yeah, exactly right. So look, I think it's probably maybe a good point to start, Eddie, would be you're probably better placed than what I am in terms of summarising 2024 for the Link Wealth Finance business, some highlights for the business as well, and both business, and maybe we're going to also touch on some personal highlights as well. So
yeah, probably the biggest highlight in 2024 was you joining the business, Carlo.
He had to say that. I handed him a $50 note before this podcast.
I actually mean it.
Thank you.
So yes, it's just growing the team and get to do this every day with people you like doing this with. Yeah. So
makes a difference.
You joining the team, Jordan joining the team, Martin joining the team, and we've got Angelo and Wendell in the Philippines, as well as Angel, who's been with us for 3 years. So the team has grown a bit this year.
Yeah.
And it just seemed to go against the narrative out there. Like a lot of people were cutting on costs. We thought it's a good time to actually invest in the business, and especially considering the caliber of the people joining the business. Like, you need good people to work in the business and to align, culturally and mindset wise, and just the whole thing that will move the business to better spots. So it's definitely been a big year in that sense. Also from a business perspective, it's been a good year. We managed to do better than last year, and we've got a lot of pre-approvals in the pipeline waiting to transition into full approvals earlier next year, hopefully. We've smashed SMSFs this year. We'll probably, I don't know if they do any SMSF rewards out there. We'd probably
we have to be number one.
We should, yeah. Like, we did a lot of self-managed super fund loans this year, and our process has become really good in that space. So that's a very good winning point for us.
Excellent.
Also, we've done a bit more commercial, and we're investing more in that side of the business. So we are looking to do more and more commercial lending. Other than that, really, it's just continuing to do what we do every day. So I don't think we're lacking. We're always trying to be on the front foot and being proactive about things. But things take time, and the future's looking bright. It's just one step at a time.
Yeah, I think if you can be in a business where in a challenging year, difficult year, and typically where you see a lot of contraction in the market, we're probably doing the exact opposite and really positioning ourselves for future growth. Like you said, when I came on board, there was yourself and Angel, and then before we know it, there's 6 or 7 of us in the team. So, but yeah, it's definitely positioned ourselves really well for 2025. Fingers crossed the market starts to turn from an interest rate point of view. I think first and foremost, that will probably really kickstart a lot more activity. But having said that, even in an environment where we had no cuts to any rates, it was pretty much flat for the whole year. There's a lot of negativity. I think we've done pretty well from that point of view. And I think, in the broker world, we've obviously seen lots of different stories, and you typically see the good quality broking firms continue to thrive in these type of environments. And those who are maybe not as good, without sounding negative too much, but they typically, that's probably a point in time where they go, well, maybe it's just all too hard and get out. So
I totally agree.
I'm absolutely wrapped with my decision to join Link Wealth Finance. That's for sure. So
good to hear.
It's definitely been a great highlight for me personally. And like yourself, Eddie, teaming up with yourself, it's I think we've clicked from day one, haven't we?
We did.
It's almost like, I think after about the first month, it was like we'd known each other for
100%.
a few years. So
and that's very important to me. Like I want to work with people I enjoy working with and seeing every day. Like we spend more time than we spend at home, so it's very important to get along.
Is that like a bromance that you're talking about, or
probably? Like there's no shame in that, I'm a big believer to tell people that you like them or not, because life's too short, man.
Exactly right.
No, that's definitely a huge win, and if anything this year taught me resilience, really, because it was a mental stress at certain points, just because you feel like you're running in your spot, like you're not moving forward. But then
the mouse on the wheel.
Yeah, pretty much, exactly. And you just gotta believe that I have to keep running. And then you look back and you say, I actually moved. I wasn't stuck. So it's just, you gotta keep moving regardless of the conditions and situations. Probably, Carlo, it's good to give a summary of how the market conditions were last year or this year.
Yep.
We haven't finished yet.
Yep.
But
yeah, I think, and you touched on it earlier on, there was definitely, even especially in the broking side of things, a much greater increase in the level of commercial lending. In the residential market, we're up. We hit 78%. Or just over 78% of all loans are written now through the broker channel, which is a great testament to, I think, the work that we do. It sort of like solidifies that, we're doing the right thing by the clients, which is probably the most important thing, that everything we do is in the best interest of our clients. Not saying that the banks don't do that, but typically they have their agenda that they've got set. So it's really good to see, that level of market share continuing to grow year on year. I think I remember when I first started broking back 6 years ago now, and I think it was only around 65% or something like that. So that's phenomenal growth over a short period of time, really. And it's, I think we'll talk about what we're expecting to see in 2025, but I think that'll definitely be part of it. But having said that increase in commercial lending is definitely happening. Brokers are seeing greater opportunities, and we're definitely seeing greater opportunities in dealing with clients on the commercial side of things. And I think vice versa, clients are now starting to recognise about the value that brokers bring to their commercial lending requirements, which is great. You also touched on self-managed super fund lending. We've seen great growth from that point of view. And I'm sure if we've seen that growth, there'll be lots of other people out there who have seen it as well, because people are looking at alternatives when it comes to their superannuation funds. And I'm one of them at this stage where I've got just a normal superannuation fund that's invested in a whole range of different little managed funds. And sometimes you sit back and go, can I be doing better? And I know a lot of our clients have done that, and we've got great advisors that we work with who are helping clients steer towards that self-managed super fund space and borrowing within that and taking charge of their own destiny, which is fantastic. I guess some of the negative things that we saw during the years, obviously serviceability was severely impacted by the current interest rate environment. We haven't seen any rate cuts for a number of months now. So it really started to bite, I think, this year more so than anything else. At the beginning, it was like, yeah, rates have gone up, but no one really saw that true impact. And I think we've had lots of months now where time's gone by and we're going, well, okay, this is now starting to really impact people, more so because the cost of living has gone up at the same time as well. It's not like we just had interest rate rises on its own. We've had interest rate rises, we've had cost of living go up, no wage growth, if anything, maybe it's gone backwards. So when you put all that together, and you go to do serviceability exercises, sometimes you have to say to clients, you really can't afford to do this, what you're looking to do. So hence why we're looking forward to potentially some rate cuts to just help ease that a little bit as well. Okay. So it's probably a good segue in terms of what we're expecting to see in 2025. And I touched on the market share.
Yeah, brokers' market share.
We're going to have another wager in terms of where we're going to see market share for the brokers.
I think it will continue to go up from here. Like when I first started, it was around the 50% market share. And it's just a testament of what brokers do, but also a testament of that people actually see the value now. Because I remember when I first started as a broker, a lot of people used to come to me saying, "Oh, we got declined. We can't get a loan by the bank. Can you?"
We were almost the last resort choice to
or like
clients.
make me pay slips. I'm not Santa Claus, buddy. So I think a lot more people actually see the value in brokers and why it's important to have a good broker in your corner. So I just hope it keeps going up and the industry as a whole continues to be more professional and just provide good recommendations, good advice. And I think it's just upwards from here.
So if you were to predict, and I've got a number in my head.
I'm not good with predictions, but go on.
Do you want me to give me my prediction then, and you can just tell me if you...
I
think by the end of 2025, we'll be surpassed the 80% mark in terms of brokerage.
2025?
Yeah.
Yeah, very realistic.
Well, we're not that far away from it now.
Exactly. So like 78%. Like that's a very safe prediction, to be honest.
That's why I win my predictions. All right, so give me another number then.
Like 100%, it will be over 80%.
Yeah. I thought you were about to say 100%. We're going to hit 100%.
No. I don't think it will ever be 100%.
No.
And you don't want it to be 100% as well. But it's just like 80% is pretty much a very that's huge. 80% of every loan done in Australia, it's done through a broker.
I remember when we hit the 75% mark, it's like, okay, so for every 4 people, 3 of them were going through a broker.
Exactly, yeah.
And when you break it down to those numbers, it's like, that's massive. And now we're surpassed that already. So, I can see us hitting 80%, no problems. It'd be just a matter of how quickly that happens. But I think there are some countries around the world where it's the norm to go through a broker. And I think we're heading down that track already now. It's like people find it much more comfortable speaking with the brokers. They know they can see the value first and foremost, and they know they're going to be acting in their best interest and give them options.
True.
I think that's the big thing is like we give clients options rather than just like you go to the CBA or the NAB or whatever it might be. It's like they've got one set of products, one set of policies, and that's it. And if it's a no, then what then?
Yeah, true. And I think also, to be fair, what helped with that market share going up is also the banks realising that, okay, we can actually work with brokers here. We don't need to compete. And at the same time, they are cutting costs by closing down their branches, reducing their staff, and just, making sure they've got a good product that will allow brokers to use them.
Yep.
So I think it's a win-win for everyone there.
Yeah.
What are we expecting to see in 2025? Obviously, the big biggest one is the rate cuts that we're expecting. So it didn't happen this year. I lost my bet. Yeah, unfortunately. So I'm buying Carlo lunch in Jan or Feb. Although the actual, like, he hasn't won the bet yet. I just lost my side of the bet.
We have to wait until March, because I said a March
you
rate
said a March
cut.
rate cut. But I'll still get you lunch. It's all right.
If you're going to take me to McDonald's, you got another thing coming, mate.
So yeah.
So how many were you predicting? I think 2 to 3 is possible. I think if we get to...
Is that the new bet for the new year?
Yeah, it's a new bet for the new year. I think if we get to April and nothing's happened, then I reckon we need to revise that down to 1 or 2, I think, for the year. So
yeah, I reckon we'll see 2. We should see 2.
It'll be interesting because, like, it's like inflation comes down and everything's tracking in the right direction, but then we head into Christmas and you got all that Christmas buying. We had the Black Friday sales.
But that's not outside the norm. Like, this happens every year.
Yeah, I know, but in terms of, like, they'll be looking at inflation numbers, and I can just see the market commentary that goes, "Oh, inflation's ticked up again." Well, no joke, it does always in that.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Like people buying gifts and spending. How dare you spend on Christmas?
Please don't buy any Christmas gifts. Seriously, we need the rates to come down.
But yeah, we like the market, obviously, and economists and banks are all expecting 2 to 3 rate cuts next year. And then 2026 is the year where rates go down even further. But obviously that's all up in the air now. Like, you can't really confirm that.
Yeah, I think if you look at 2 to 3 rate cuts, let's say 25 basis points each, we may get 0.75 next year, then potentially another 1% the following year, which probably puts it back to where I think a lot of economists see the final cash rate ending up. Yeah,
like if variable rates, like home loan variable rates, are around the 4% mark, like that's reasonable.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
That's reasonable, like you don't want them to be 1% and 2% like they were during COVID, but you don't want them to be 6 and 7%.
Yeah, I think everyone liked that interest rate, but they also recognised, without saying it, that it was unrealistic and unsustainable too. So.
And we're paying for it now. So
yes.
That's on the interest rates. In terms of the team, Link Wealth Finance team, we always like, there's nothing solid, like we're doing this or not doing this. I think we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. There's also big potential to hire more people with our Livera staff, overseas staff. They've been great. So if you run your own business, I highly recommend reaching out to Livera for outsourcing your admin staff, because they're great. They do things very good and they help us a lot. And it's just a very good service we've got there. So we look at that side of the business. I don't know, probably locally we've got the manpower, brain power. To do what we need to do and hit the targets we've put for next year. So, but everything's on the table. So we'll see how that goes.
Look, if inflation continues to tick down, we see an interest rate cut. Obviously, serviceability starts to improve, and then bang, off we go. So they're the things we're expecting. I guess these are the things that we're expecting to see in 2025. Now it's like what we're really looking forward to in 2025. So these are probably more the things that we're maybe not expecting, but we'd love to actually see happen. Anything that comes to mind?
World peace? Yeah, probably not. Look, I'd like to see Victoria, mainly, in Australia, just going back to how we are supposed to be. Like, I think we have went back heaps in the last few years. Like, Australia can do a lot better. We've got the people, we've got the culture, we've got the economy, we've got the land, we've got everything to really do better and just give more to the people and let people really go out there, do the best they can, move forward in life, because it's been a very hard, like 3-4 years. Like since COVID up till now, it's just people are tired, and it's the lack of hope I think that people have is just lack of confidence in the leadership that we've got, that things going to change. So probably that's one thing.
Yeah, without that strong leadership, you don't have hope, and everything goes south from there. You know, you look at, you were saying you would love to see Victoria get back to where it once was. You know, we had the title of the most livable city, and we're not even close at the moment. No. And you're starting to see some of the smaller states like your South Australias, your Western Australias, your Queenslands, although Queensland's probably just sits below New South Wales and Victoria, but you know they're starting to overtake us.
They did.
Well, yeah, exactly right. And you look at the median prices of houses, and you know South Australia is about to surpass Victoria. It's
I think it did.
I don't even.
I think so.
Does it happen? Okay,
I think so.
I saw an article that it was about to. About to overtake it. So it's like, how do we go from here to here so quickly?
Oh, bad leadership, bad policy, bad regulations. Just was a shit show for the last 5 years. Really, our debt is what, 200 billion just for Victoria. A lot of, I don't want to go into it, but it's just it hasn't been great. And the other biggest factor is there's no accountability for what happened. It's just like someone ruined the state and just like, whatever, we'll just try and see what we can do, and people will pay for it. So, and that's literally what's happening. So definitely we need better leadership, stronger leadership. Things can be better. We definitely got the capacity to make things better. It's just a matter of a decision and priorities. I don't think there's anything more important than the people of Australia and looking after your own people. So
the state really needs to encourage growth, and I think we've lacked that for a number of years now, where people are actually leaving the state in droves, especially from a business investment point of view as well. A lot of people are going, well, you know, I think South Australia is a classic example.
Everyone's
strong leadership. They really encourage business investment over there, and
you can see the results.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yep.
So that is probably one of the things. Personal resolutions, even though I'm not big on that, but probably we'll do the podcast before lunch next year.
You don't like doing them after lunch?
After lunch, it's just
the snooze.
The snooze, especially on Friday. We do that. Friday lunch.
Duly noted. Okay.
No, look, I don't believe in those New Year resolutions and, you know, putting a plan. I just build on what you've got, you know, like what did I do well this year? What can I do better next year? And just continue. It's not like a whole new thing that I'm going to do next year. So I probably want to do more exercise.
Yeah, that was one of mine.
Like I started strong, and then in the last 3-4 months I've just been lagging. So
I hear.
But other than that, I think I'm going to be less harsh on myself as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
it's interesting.
Yeah, sometimes you just push yourself too hard, and which is good, but sometimes it gets too much where you start feeling bad for stuff you can't really control. So all you can do is do your best and put yourself out there, try your best, and the rest, is just, you never know what happens and how things work. So probably these are the main two for me. Podcast before lunch and don't be too harsh.
Okay. Good ones. Different.
What about yours?
I'm the same. I don't normally do New Year's resolutions for one reason. I never stick to them. They never pan out. So
exactly. Yeah.
But after the year that I've had this year, from losing close people around me to, physically my back's playing up at the moment. So I just sat back the other day and I went, you know what? I want 2025 to be, I'm going to be a little bit more selfish about myself next year. So definitely want to get a lot more healthier, probably healthier eating as well. But the exercise as well. I started at one point and it's just tapered off very quickly. So, but I know that I need to, at my age, really start looking after myself. So I'm going to I want 2025 to be more about me this time. So instead of worrying about everyone else all the time. sorry to the wife
Hear
and
that,
kids at
kids?
home. I want 2025 to be more about me and looking
100%.
after myself, because, like you said, you don't know what's around the corner.
And mate, it's important, I guess, to be selfish, not in a bad way.
It's a good selfish I'm aiming at. So
because you have to be good, you have to be in good health, be strong, because people need you as well. So if you're not looking after yourself, then you become a liability in a way down the line. So I'll hold you to that.
Okay, and I'll hold you to lunch.
Okay, that's
are we actually going to do no, we won't worry about version 2 of our predictions until next year. Let's wait until after March.
Is it the rate cuts? Yeah,
we'll wait for that.
Collect more data.
I don't want to make you panic over the Christmas break. So,
I guess that's it. For as in what's this year been like? What's next year looking like? Probably we'll do some thank yous.
Yeah. I think it's a good opportunity, being the final one for the year, to thank a few people that have
absolutely
impacted us this year.
100%.
So, you want me to start?
If you want.
I think the first one's obviously our directors, Steve and Josh, who I know they do their own podcast as well, but giving us the opportunity to run with this. I remember the day that you came and asked me and said, "Oh, do you want to do our own podcast?" And I just went, "Okay." But it's been great, and their encouragement from day one has been fantastic. And I think we're now at a stage where we probably enjoy it a lot more, because it just comes a lot more natural to us.
Yeah.
But it's, this podcast has never been about us personally. It's always been about how do we go about educating everyone out there in a different way.
Yes,
there are thousands of podcasts around, probably millions of podcasts around the world, but we want to do it with our own spin on it a little bit. We may have started off probably a little bit too formal, I reckon, but and I think obviously thanks to Steve and Josh, our directors, for just giving us this opportunity to create and develop this podcast over the years. So
I commend that. Like Steve and Josh, they've been great. We've been together for 3.5 years now, and from day one, they've been huge support in every way or idea or anything I've got. They've always been behind me, supporting me and leading the way. So thanks, guys. It's always a pleasure working with you, and I look forward to how next year's going to be. Obviously, we can't forget our marketing team.
Yes,
and especially Bowden. Like, you guys have been great as well, helping us putting this together and running with us for the first probably 6, 7, 8 podcasts we've done, sitting in the background.
Bowden was the man who was always sitting behind the camera.
Yes.
But his encouragement was fantastic from day
100%.
one.
And obviously the editing and the marketing that they do every day. So great job, guys, and thank you for your support and work. It's been amazing, really, having you. Obviously, this goes without saying, but the whole wider group, our Linkwealth group, from really Russ, the receptionist, to the operations team, to the associates, to the advisors, to HR, to everyone, really. It's a great vibe we've got here, a very healthy environment we've got here, and everyone supports everyone, and everyone tries to help everyone. So thank you to each and every one of you. It's been really great, working with you every day and seeing you go through ups and downs and just trying your best. So love you all, and I wish you all the best for the coming year as well.
Yeah, we definitely don't underestimate their support, that's for sure. It's not just with this podcast, because they've been great supporters of it, and they're always keen to find out what we're going to be talking about each week. And but just the wider support of our business as well, and helping us grow over the journey. So we 100%. Can't thank you guys enough. Probably the other one is obviously our support team over in the Philippines, to Angel, Angelo, and Wendell as well. We don't exist really. Well, we do exist, but we don't exist as well without those guys. 100%. So they're like our engine room in the background, who keep things moving along really well, make us look good at times as well. Hopefully we make them look a little bit good as well. But no, it's they deliver some exceptional work. We're really proud of, I guess, how they've developed over the year as well. I've seen it in 8 months, just how much they've developed. So,
100%.
you know, our aim is to grow as a team, not just as individuals. So, and I think we're starting to see that, which is great.
100%. Nah, I can't really complain. We've got great people, we've got a great vibe, we've got really everything we need to enjoy what we do, provide a service out of heart, not just transactional, and look forward to, you know, do things on a bigger scale, not because it's just bigger, just because we want to see what we can achieve, what we can do, what our potential is, what our limits are, and just give it a shot. You know, we live once, so we might as well do the best we can and have as many people to share this with along the way, and reach one stage and look back and say, you know, I'm happy about what I've done. I'm content, and even I've got kids. I want them to, you know, look up to me and say, like, you've worked hard, you've done well. Show them what it takes to succeed and to make it in life, and, you know, the commitment and the passion that you need to have to make it through. So that's all hopes, but I truly believe we've got what it takes, and time will tell, I guess. So
that's why I love my motto of go big or go home.
That's it.
We're going big.
We're going big. Big Mac.
Exactly right. So I'm going to let you close out the session, because it's
it's emotional.
You're a little. No, I'm not emotional. I get too old to be emotional.
Well, yeah, that's it really. I hope you enjoyed this episode and the previous episodes we've done. Your support really means a lot to us, and we look forward to a lot more of those in the coming year. Please always send any questions through. Leave us a review or subscribe, because this really helps reaching out to as many people as possible. And other than that, take care of yourselves. Have a good holiday. Have a good Christmas. Refresh. Just rest. Don't worry too much. Everything will take care of itself. Be fine, and come back ready to tackle 2025. Is it 2025? Yeah, it is 2025. I'm already in 2026.
He's going big,
and I'm telling them I'm thinking about it. So, all the best, guys, and we'll see you in the new year.
Take care.
Love you all.
Bye-bye.